Coming and living here has been a challenge, but being in a home that unites us as a family is everything I could wish for. Because we are six in the family, we were born and raised from different generations that made us divergent in personality. And I believe that those personality is what creates our home. But today, we'll be talking about a specific area in our house where we get to unite as one. And that is our living room. The first thing that I want to talk about is our front door, which is inspired from Hollywood Regency era, also known as Regency Moderna, that came out of Hollywood's golden age in the 1930s. So that time, producers and directors wanted to bring extra star power to their film, so they decorated with serious opulence in mind. And to bring out that luxury look, we have this white finish of Titan Superflex elastomeric paint. The pigment is called white kitten, which is also pretty related with the design concept. And we have this decorative molding painted with gold and as well as the doorknob. I consider this a beautiful disaster that happens here because if you look closer, you can see the gap of the door leaf from the jump. And with the decorative molding, it's now almost in the same level. So, that's one of the minor problems that I encountered here since we have limited budget to replace the door. Thanks to the design inspiration, it's now perfectly done. This one is an artificial antler's head that I got from an online shop in mainland China. This personally gives me a nostalgic feeling of my childhood dream home since I like to watch old Hollywood films before where I used to see decors like this with real animals' head hang in the wall. So I promised myself I'm gonna have one of those even though it's just made out of plastic, and so I spray painted it with black to achieve the gloss. But also the main purpose of it serves as a key holder since we always used to misplace our keys. So, it's perfectly placed right next to the door. For the window treatment, we have our old Chelsea window, replaced with a clear awning, protected with sliding screens to filter the dust outside. Then, we have this beautiful sheer curtain with embroidery, so the natural light can still pass through. Next thing I want to talk about is our TV wall, where I get to solve one of the biggest problems I encountered here, which is the height of our ceiling from the finished floor line. It's only 2.4 meters considering that this is the first level of the house, so in order to make it look higher, we have this TV wall made of lumber and plywood, finished with vinyl tiles vertically installed to create the illusion. Then we have this katana placed in a higher position. It is owned by my father that he got in Bohol year 2003. We wanted it displayed since that's the only souvenir left from his service in the Philippine Navy. We also bought this new flat screen TV, and this time it's wall mounted so the cats wouldn't be able to push it. And since our favorite activity that keeps us here together is by watching movies, I match it with this warm light behind the TV wall to add into an intimate bond of the family during movie nights. This one is a modern piece of console table that our mom got from a local furniture shop here in Mindoro 3 years ago. I just keep it simple by adding this doily, which was used to be our dining tablecloth, and just cut it out in a portion that fits the tabletop. The accessories here are very minimal. We just have this jar of caladium plant and a plate of scented candle, and this crystal lily plant that was believed to bring luck according to a Chinese friend of my mom. And down here are souvenirs from different occasions, a very Filipino way of decorating a living room. This window is relocated here from the place where the TV wall is now, so we can maximize the space for the things that are functional. And structurally, it's now aligned with the window in the second floor. It's also adjacent to the stairs, so when we get down, the sunrise is the first thing that we would see here in the morning. which is also perfect for these indoor plants that needs adequate amount of sunlight. And for this very industrial style of plant rack, it was customized and produced from our machine shop. I spray painted it with gold so when you look at this face, it's balanced with the style of the door on the other side. This display cabinet, which used to be the place of our old TV, is now turned into a space for family photos and some accessories that I let every one of us to put whatever we like. So this is a work in progress because I don't want to limit the things to be placed in here just because it's newly renovated. The comfort and the joy from everyone's contribution is what really matters for me. The finish used is also the same as the wall, white kitten from Titan Superflex Elastomeric paint, perfect combination with the color of the accent wall, which is aqua blue from Nippon Paint. So the reason for the choice of color is highly influenced by our mom. As you can see from the before photos, it's all apple green because she loves anything that has to do with the greens. But to add a little bit of twist to it, I look for a color that is more engaging, but at the same time is still not far from her likes. So we come up with this result and it's giving us a resort vibe, which is perfect for our future plans here as we move to our new house. This storage was purposely made for the family to have an extra space for the things that are not always in use. But still, we want to keep it luxurious by adding this gold outline and this handle positioned in a higher level, so from the seating in front, we can still open it in 180 degrees to easily access the things inside. Well, this remaining space over here is especially reserved for our lovely pet, Tala, because this really is her place and she actually used to sleep in the couch. But from the moment I set up her bedding, she already loved it. For the seating, we have this 3-seater wooden lounge from our first house. It has intricate detail of the backrest. I just painted it with walnut varnish and upcycled it by adding this cutout mattress, covered with a leaf pattern of fabric and finished with straw pillows of different patterns. This chair where I sit is inspired from the Bontoc tribe of the Philippines that I designed myself year 2019 for the annual furniture design exhibit of ideas. I updated it by having this straw pillow with the same pattern as the upholstered backrest and the seating, and paired with this old leather ottoman from my grandmother. This ottoman is already 2 decades old and I haven't done anything about it to keep its sentimental value. Now it's perfect match for the high back chair to rest your legs, which can also be kept underneath the seating. For the center table, we have this custom-made industrial style which was also done from our machine shop. The legs were metal angle bars spray painted with black. Then we made use of the acacia tree that was pulled out by a storm and maintained its natural look by applying plastic varnish, then finished with this jar of candies on top. Since the rest of our furniture were bulky and heavy in the eye, I want to balance it with this black leather ottoman that I got from an online shop. It's also a storage box so we can keep the straw pillows here and other stuffs like books and magazines. This area rug is a woven bamboo mat that I customized a little bit by adding this golden yellow tassel and this pattern of paint. Since we keep pets inside the house, this eco-friendly material is also perfect for them as it's easy to maintain. And it also complements the ceiling, which is made up of bamboo shoots. This used to be our ceiling from the moment we live here, so I just keep it that way and refurbish it by painting the studs with dark chocolate enamel and maple varnish for the woven bamboo. I got this aluminum lighting fixture from an online shop. The light comes in 3 different colors. We have the warm white, to daylight, to cool white, all in a flick of a switch. And finally, this reflected sliding door that emphasizes the interior. We have this installed to create a more private area for the family and to separate the living from the dining. The old seatings and center table were also arranged at the back for another lounging area. So that's it for the tour, and for the final output, here it is.